Chief. I'm missing the Bob. Okay, we'll do it anyway. I will call the special council meeting of August 2nd, 2023 to order. Please stand for the pledge.
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please call roll.
Vincent.
Here.
Silver.
Here.
Harry.
Here.
Bilski.
Here.
Klein.
Here.
Duber. Erland.
Here. I would like to call up Mr. John Sangdahl, the president of the Orange Alumni Association. Would you like to please come to the microphone?
Well, obviously, I'm John Sangdahl, president of the Orange Alumni, and I also taught at Orange. I had at least one of y'all's daughter in my class. But I'm here to present about
Had mine too.
an exciting thing that the Orange Alumni is doing. As you can see up here, and you can see from here,
Yeah.
that we are putting together a Veterans Honors Wall. Now, how did we come across this? Well, there was someone in our school district, an old athletic director, and I asked that athletic director, do you have a list of all of our state champions and runners-up? And she said, nope, and walked away. So if you know anything about me, my old neighbor always calls me a bulldog or a pit bull. When I get onto something, I'm on it. So I wanted to be on this, and I wanted our kids to be honored. So I went back to Ohio Athletic Association. I looked for every single Orange kid from 1908. I should have started in 1927. That's when the first graduating class was at Orange. And I looked for an Orange kid, every sport, and so on and so forth. I came across a guy named Matt Coker that lived across the street from Miles Market. Matt was a 5-time state champion. I wanted to learn more about Matt Coker, so I went in our archives and I found school newspapers. And in the school newspaper, I found not only all about Matt Coker, but I also found a list of 1943 of 100, it says 142 names there, but actually it was 147, the person didn't count correctly. This is the school newspaper. So you can see very carefully all the names right here. I know it's small, but you can see the totality of it. So in 2019, the Orange Alumni set up a web page collecting Orange veterans because they need to be honored. I had several in my class. Some of them weren't AP students, but some of them also were in the academies. I wrote a letter for recommendation for them. So, of all those names, actually, the next year there were some more. Of the 154 total World War II vets, I then vetted every single one of them. So, I mean, I'm relying on a student. And the student did a nice job, but there were some names that were incorrect. There was one guy that she said that went to Orange that died in action. He did not go to Orange. He went to North Shore, which was Lakewood, and he is on their memorial right there on the lake. So I did my best. What did I use? I used the National Archives. I used Ancestry.com. I Googled their obituary from that list. Here is the draft card of one of them. If later on, when the wall is up, there will be a QR code. You could take your phone to the QR code. Then there will be a spreadsheet, and on that spreadsheet, you will see a lot of information like their draft cards. They're on there, or where they served, and so on and so forth. I selected this young man, Catholic guy, because he has 5 brothers. All, as you can see, was on Harvard Road, Orange Village, all served in World War II. Every single one of them survived. That's just amazing. Their dad, August, served in World War I. I have his draft card, but he didn't go to Orange. Here is the National Archives database that I used. I know it's the one says Baltimore. You went to Orange, that was a draft card you just saw. And And then later he moved out, and then that's where he enlisted, is in Baltimore. I think it's pretty amazing. Famous teacher of Orange, Bob Takich. Art teacher, commercial art. I got his draft card. He also served in World War II. I also Googled their obituaries, as I was saying. One from Pepper Pike, Myron Jackson. Myron Jackson went to Orange, then enlisted, got captured, as you can see on the fourth down here. You can see he's from Pepper Pike on his obituary. He was in the Air Force. Actually, back then, it wasn't called Air Force, it was called Army, yes.
Army Air Corps.
Right, Army Air Corps. And he was a prisoner of war for 18 months. He survived. So we created a website and a Google form for people to fill out. So that we have collected maybe about 150 now that they filled out the form, or like Linda Zagara, who's worked at Orange Schools for many years, and her sister, they filled it out for their dads and their uncles. I'll show you the data sheet here in a second since I've got internet. So, see there's an awful lot of names here. I think it's I can put it in alphabetical order. Right now I put it as number of Orange. People who lived in Orange. So if I scroll this way, alphabetical order, there's Moreland Hills. Then you will see Orange. Look at the sheet I passed out to you of all of our different municipalities that make up Orange. Now, Warrensville was part of Orange up until 1965. But you can see who's got the number one, or the most, and that's Orange, and that's the sheet I gave you guys. If you got your phones with you, you could go to orangeschools.org. You can click on then alumni, and then you can go to the website. Go to the website. I will take you to the website. Here's the website right here. Here it is about unveiling the Orange Veterans Wall. The date. The date is November 12th. That way I can get the VFW to come. Nice on the 11th, but the 12th is what's going to work. The Orange Band will be there. The VFW from Solon will be there. The band's going to play the military medley, and they'll also do taps. When they go through the medley and there's the Army, they'll come out with the Army flag. We'll have all the people from the Army that are related to the Army, like their mom or father or uncle, have them all stand up. It's going to be a big community event. So that's where you guys come in. You guys come in to help me promote this and to make it a big community event. Your law director has heard me 3 times now. What will the wall look like? And I said, we have collected 273 so far. The wall is going to look like this, except for we're changing out the lions. We've got as my English teacher would say, a more better lion. And then if we keep on scrolling down, you see here, I got the 5 that had died in action, 1 from Vietnam, and 4 from World War II. This guy right here, he's the one that's closest to Orange. He's kind of in Warrensville. He was a pilot by the Philippines. He shot down at first zero, and he got shot down, survived. Mom wrote that in the school newspaper, in the 1944 school newspaper. And sadly, went back up, he got shot down, and he got lost in the Pacific somewhere. You can see all of his notable awards. You can learn more about him. All those are going to be on our wall. So when you go to our wall, which is going to be 18 feet wide, and if you've been to Orange High School, I'm going to step away, and you come out of the main office, and you're walking down, got the courtyard windows, the PTA, It's gonna go up there. Every day a kid will see that. You may not know Dale Tasix. You may not know this guy right here, but they will know the totality of what they have done to keep us free. So let me go back to the PowerPoint. That's our website. Oh, on our website also, just scroll farther, I've listed all their names, and it's okay. They said we can do this, plus they're going on the wall, and where they were from, because I think people will be interested in where they're from. What years did they serve? Now, if you look at the wall, you say, oh my gosh, you had a huge class in 1943. We only had 20 guys that graduated then. The yearbooks were not made from like 1938 to the war, through the war, for obvious reasons. So I can guess, and I have, put from their draft cards, how old they are, do some math, and put it in. But you can see there's, if one-year council member said I should name every single one, I'm going to, for the sake of time.
I think that we all really appreciate the work that you've put into this. Clearly, you did a lot of research, and it's really wonderful to be able to honor these vets. Thank you.
Can you give us whatever you want us to promote, we'll put it on our website and in e-news.
Yes, you guys have in front of you, and we can make them better.
And download this off the, I've already downloaded it and put it on my Facebook page.
Yes, I saw that. I appreciate that. So, and we'll make, once we get the new lions on there, then we will make a bigger poster, and then I'm hoping that will happen soon. The guy that's doing all this, hopefully he's gonna get paid. That's the lion.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Alrighty.
Oh, and the school's paying for this. It's not gonna cost Orange Village any money.
Thank you even more.
Even if it did.
All right.
Very much.
Thank you, John.
Yeah, if you have a Facebook page, and you can do what this nice gentleman did, put it on your Facebook page to help promote it. I do not want to leave any name off of this wall, because they didn't know about it. Maybe later on, you build it, they will come. So anyway.
Is there a final date in which, before everything actually goes to engraving for the wall?
So the wall that you saw up there, that will be, I'm hoping by convocation start of school.
Okay.
Out the names.
Okay.
Then as we collect the names, then.
Create plaques.
So I'm thinking October, then we'll be able to put them on there.
Okay.
And so on and so forth.
Good to know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I will make a motion to approve the council meeting minutes of July 12, 2023. Do I have a second? Thank you, Stacy. Are there any comments, changes to the minutes? Okay, Anna, please call roll.
You go.
Silver,
Yes.
Harry,
Abstain.
Ski,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Duber, Kurland.
Yes. Okay. Are there any audience comments related to agenda items only? No? Okay. Let's move on to old business of pending legislation and motions. Ordinance 2023-11, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an access and asset transfer agreement with the city of Solon for the construction of a water main in Orange Village in the Mile Road right-of-way. Second reading. This was tabled by Planning and Zoning Commission. And Mr. Zugan, can you want to tell us about it for a minute? By the microphone.
Yeah, P&Z tabled it last time, and there were some concerns brought up by the village engineer that I've been in discussion with. In that time frame, a letter has been sent to the city of Solon, and we're still waiting for a response. What we were looking for was an answer to the final plan approval, because what we're basically working is on a conceptual drawing. So it raises a lot of questions of having the village go ahead and sign an agreement when we don't have a final plan. So we're looking for the protection that we can look at something when it's final and after it's been reviewed by Cleveland Water. We're looking at the administration because the village plans on doing the observation for this project. And with means and methods, our observer doesn't have that opportunity to make those decisions. So there's something that's going to affect our infrastructure. Who's going to make that decision? Because Solon's paying for the project. You know, we've made it very clear that we have no no plans of it costing Orange Village any money. This is very favorable to residents in Orange and Solon, but it's now going on our side of the road. That infrastructure, Solon will never have to worry about it. It will go under the asset transfer agreement to Cleveland Water when it's finally done. And one of the big issues that we're looking at based on the conceptual drawing is the trench and the concrete. And we're not looking to have Miles Road. The concrete is in good condition now. And if they were going to do a single trench repair, we might be dividing that road up into 3 sections. Long-term, that could be problematic. So, like I said, it's been shipped off to City of Solon. They'll be reviewing it, and we'll have some answers back once we get that in, and I'm sure we'll be reconvening at P&Z.
Thank you. Anyone have some questions?
Is this something we could put back in the newsletter again?
I think a lot of people, especially after, in the wake of the last water main break, are just confused and don't.
We're still confused. I think it would be hard until we know a little firmer about whether we're gonna come to the agreement. I mean, they had hoped to start the construction in 2024, and now here they're gonna go for issue 1 funds, which means it's gonna push it back. So let us get a little more solid information.
And one of the two of the reasons that Planning Commission tabled it, number one is the plan that we were given was pretty schematic. It just showed an area where this potential water line would run. It really wasn't very specific as to any kind of detail as to what it was. And along with that, some concern relative to the both installation and maintenance, ongoing maintenance of the paved areas. So we,
They want us to agree before they start doing the engineering work, sort of a catch-22.
yeah, I understand that, but they could come and we asked Brian Mader to put together a list of specific items that he would then address to Solon so that would take place. So if nothing else, we'd have that information to make a decision upon.
Now, I would say that this, if we have any responsibility for it being any later than it could have been, I don't think we represent more than a week. You know, because we've been responsive every time, right? So I don't think, you know, the delay is, it's just, there's more to do for it than probably they thought.
There's a level of certainty that we want to see in terms of being able to decide what this is, so that we're not walking ourselves into a problem down the road. And we need to fully understand that and have the answers to the questions that Brian raised both at Planning Commission
We're waiting
and
for that.
follow-up, that he followed up with City of Solon.
All right, we have no new business, so I will make a motion pursuant to section 1142.06B5B of the Orange Village Codified Ordinances to remand to Planning and Zoning Commission for reconsideration the variances requested for 4240 Cambridge Court. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Klein. You want to tell us why? I mean, I know why, but, but you can say it.
I'll share with everyone else. A variance was brought to Planning Commission for an increase, additional garage for the house at 4240 Cambridge Court. There were 2 variances that were required. One was a setback variance, and we worked through the finding of facts for that. The other was an increased area requirement that we needed to address, and that was not completed, and we need to reconsider that piece of it before it comes back to council for consideration. So we're sending it back to Planning Commission so that piece can be determined, and then the finding of facts related to both components of the variance are available to council.
Sounds good. No other questions? Okay, Anna, please call roll.
Vincent,
Yes.
Silver,
Yes.
Harry,
Yes.
Bilski,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Duber, Kurland.
Yes. All right. Are there any comments, audience comments related to matters which advance the good of the village? No? Okay. Mayor?
This is the first time we're meeting since Party in the Park, so I would just like to take this opportunity to thank all of our employees and departments. You can tell your staffs that they contributed to an incredibly successful event, I believe. I think it was great. I just didn't know as many people as I used to know. There's so many young families now. Wow. But it was a great party. Anna deserves kudos because she did everything. I remember not too many years ago when we used to cook the hamburgers and hot dogs, I used to have to go to Sam's Club and pick up the buns and the ketchup and the hot dogs. And there was one year actually at the last minute we ran around the corner and stocked up. But this time Anna just told me to show up at 5:15 and be in charge of the weather. But thank you, Anna, and thank you all.
It's a great job with the weather, too.
Great job on that.
Thank you. Welcome. Anna, you did a great job. Next week, we will have a confirmation of a new police officer again. I don't know if I announced it. I know I talked to you about it, but we had another longtime officer retire. Bob Rossick has already stepped down and has completed his service for Orange Village. And we are ready to go with his replacement. Computer electronic collection continues through the month of August. It's Monday through Friday from 7 to 3. Household hazardous waste and flag collection is this Friday from 7 to 3 at the service department. And the next paper shredding is August 18th from 9 to noon at Pepper Pike City Hall. So I want to speak about something that is on the ballot next week. On August 8th, there is one issue on the ballot. It is called Issue 1. And what Issue 1 does is address what makes a constitutional amendment pass. What are the criteria to make it go into effect? Currently, we have majority rules, which I think in any democracy you sort of do assume that 50% plus 1 is majority rule. The issue on the ballot next week will change that from majority rules to minority rules. In other words, it will take 60% of voters to pass something. Now, there have been things that have passed that would not pass if it was 60%. For example, an increase in minimum wage, women serving in the National Reserve, and there was another one that I can't remember that seemed really important. I'm sure there's many, but most things don't pass. You know, we're a very evenly divided world, and you don't get too many things that hit over 60%. So why anyone would want to diminish the strength of their vote is beyond me. Currently, in order to make a constitutional amendment effective, you have to have signatures of 5% from 44 counties in the state. The new Issue 1 requires you to have a minimum amount from all 88 counties. You can imagine how easy that would be to squash by just going into one very small little county. And currently, right now, there is a cure period. If you hand in your signatures and they're determined to be invalid, the petitioners have 10 days to collect other signatures. The new Issue 1 will have no cure period, zero, none. If you submit 10 too few, you don't have a chance to make good on it. Now, despite whether, you're concerned about the things that are coming up on the ballot, which is the whole reason why they're doing this, so that minority will rule on some very significant issues that are coming up on the ballot. This is tantamount to us playing a football game, Ohio State against Michigan. And Michigan gets 41 points, and Ohio State gets 59. But if this issue passes, guess who wins in that scenario? Michigan with 41 points. So I have very seldom in 28 years spoken about political items, publicly at least. I've spoken about them certainly privately. But I cannot urge our residents, this council, anyone who's listening, vote no next Tuesday. That's all my comments.
Thank you. I just want to echo a thank you to Anna and the whole Orange Village team for a great party in the park. And that's all. Mr. Duber.
Echo all that. No additional
Mr. Silver.
comments. Yeah, this party in the park was great. Nothing more I can say about that. Does anyone have an update on the Pinecrest Dora, when that might be rolled out?
It's enacted. It's enacted.
We'd have to ask Mike Roberts.
And that's, the time period has passed.
Yeah, I thought it was like the end of July or something.
It has to be reported to the state. They don't have a,
They've already acknowledged the registration of this Dora. They sent a thing to Anna confirming that it was approved.
I received a press release that it opened August 1st.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Well, there you go.
will that be in this week's paper?
That's it. That's a,
Do you have anyone to quote on that?
I'm going to go on the record.
That's all you got? Mrs. Perry?
Comments except for the party in the park was amazing, so thank you.
Okay, great. Mr. Bilski?
I just wanted to, well, first I will second that the mayor's comments. Definitely get out and vote next week. But I also wanted to make it known that as I stated and felt, I appreciated very much the opportunity to end up on this council and serving alongside all of you on behalf of the residents of Orange Village. And for that very reason, I am running this November to be elected for a 4-year term to continue serving on this council. So I would welcome that opportunity. I would greatly appreciate that opportunity for the good of the village, for the future of the village, for my 3 little children that I'm raising here and sending to school here, and for all of the residents as well. So thank you, and nothing further.
Let me just say one last thing. After the filing deadline next week, I will organize a candidates night, so there will be.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
Oh, I forgot to announce I'm running for mayor, too. Not just kidding. 1 week.
Do that.
Right now.
He still does.
Mortgage rates like this, forget it.
Mr. Klein?
First of all, again echo everybody's comments relative to the party in the park. Thank Anna and her team. They did spectacularly. It was really an enjoyable night. The fireworks and the fire department and their support of that, and the service department and their support of that was exceptional. That was a great show. Thank you. I also appreciate the honor of remembering our Orange vets and appreciate the presentation this evening. I think it's very important that we take time to not just acknowledge and say thank you for your service, but to really extend ourselves to our veterans and thank them in any way that we can to help support them because of their contribution, their service, and their sacrifices on behalf of all of us. So thank you to our veterans. Planning Commission held 2 meetings since our last council meeting. A couple of the items have already been addressed here, the remand on the variance as well as the water line discussion. Last night we held Planning Commission meeting. Several items were approved, including the first houses for the for Lakes of Orange Phase 7. We approved 1, but there are now 6 more that were approved. So there's a whole cluster of homes that have now been approved, and they're looking to start construction on that. We had two other items on the agenda. One had to do with a signage issue, and the other had to do with a room addition that had a little bit of discussion to it, and I'll suffice it to say that. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Mrs. Vincent?
Thank you. First of all, I want to once again thank Mr. John Sengdahl for all of his outstanding efforts to create this wall. I know he's gone to every council, he's gone to every meeting he could possibly go to. He and his committee have just done yeoman's work to make this happen. And I love the poignant representation that so brilliantly showcases the brave men and women from all of our district communities. John and his committee have put their heart and soul into the project. I'm so grateful they have, and I hope everyone here will save the date for November 12th and be a part of that. An Orange for the Holidays update. I did reach out, as I said I would, to Jessie, who's our contact over at Pinecrest. They're definitely interested. She's looking forward to supporting some of the new 2023 tenants as well. She's asking for help in promoting that as well. So once we get a little further underway, and Brent and I will work with her to let you know, and we'd appreciate everybody promoting it as best you can. I'm curious, the most recent stolen car situation in Orange Hill. I know we've talked about it over and over again. I know you have to lock your cars. Don't keep keys in your cars, but it's left many in our development asking if it's possible to mount additional cameras within the development itself. And I just don't know if that's even an option, and I thought I'd ask. Sure, please.
Do you want to get to the mic?
We found the vehicle in the process and chased it all the way into Cleveland. One of the reasons we were after it, it resembled a car that's been involved in other auto thefts and more serious crimes, but it didn't have any registration on it. It was a stolen vehicle without plates. All the cameras in the world would not have alerted us to it, and we were there. The problem is, how far do we chase somebody that we couldn't confirm at that time that they had stolen any vehicles. So we have the registration violation, some traffic violations, and how far do we pursue a vehicle on those as a safety precaution? The nice part was it was so late at night, there's not a lot of traffic, and they were able to pursue it for quite a bit of time. Cameras would not have made a bit of difference. Not the flocks, the other cameras. We'd be able to observe it, but they wouldn't be recording the plates like our flock cameras do. And like I said, we had no registration on it. We were there, and it was just a matter of going after them and trying to recognize what's safe enough. And one of our officers in the heart of Cleveland, I think, around East Orange, 20th Street or someplace, where they called off the pursuit. We had one in Orangewood as well with the same results. Pursued it into Cleveland and got called off after a certain period of time.
That one also, the keys were left in the car unlocked, you know?
The Orangewood one, the one that was in Orangewood, we got to it before they were able to get anything. But they were, it was a vehicle with normally participants that would, if they had the opportunity, they would have taken the car with keys in. But we got them, they were able to check the name.
And I,
What I wanted to show you is the Facebook page, somebody posted some camera film.
Sure. Absolutely. Buddy, I'm sure we had probably about 4 to 5 cameras observing this, but
so,
nothing to,
yeah.
you can't see who the driver is.
Right, we got to go back to everyone, please lock your cars, and also, if you do see someone, call the police, don't go and confront them, just because a number of people, when I was talking to some neighbors, were hyped up and talking about that they would be out there, and I don't think that's a safe position. There's that.
I can tell you a funny story, a personal
Thank you
story.
for your work on that. I know it's an ongoing situation, yeah.
This is right place, right time. Couldn't have been any better as far as getting out of there and doing any more damage. The keys in the vehicles.
Yeah, and it's important for everybody to be vigilant, to tell people that are coming to visit you to lock your cars, take your keys with you, so. Right, right.
It's all over Northeast Ohio, and
Chief, are all these happening in the wee hours of the night, morning? Yeah.
One in Orange Hill did.
Okay.
So on a happier note, the district calendars are out. I have one here somewhere, and are available for pickup, as well as the OHS yearbooks for anybody listening or who has people that are looking for these. Residents and families who would like a calendar are able to get a copy at the school. The schedule is on the website. And pre-ordered yearbooks are also available. Dates and times are also on the school website and social media. Classes for all first grade through 12th grade students begin in 22 days on August 24th. Check out the new calendar for all the festive start of the school year activities. I'm thrilled to report that the Kiwanis Rummage Sale was highly successful and brought in more than $22,000. So thank you to all who help make that sale great. And all the money goes toward helping the children, not only in our community, but all around the world. It's a wonderful thing, so thank you. For any alumni who play or played volleyball, the coaches have asked that you join in on a team versus alumni volleyball game on August 9th at 5 p.m. in the OHS gym. If you didn't play volleyball, go cheer on the team, whether you cheer on the alumni or the current team. Hope everyone can join in on the fun. A highly successful band camp came on the heels of our party in the park, and I also want to end my comments with a huge thank you once again to Bob, both chiefs, all their teams, Mayor Mulcahy, and especially Anna, for just truly an outstanding event. People raved about it, and the singers enjoyed being a part of it and really just loved the experience overall. So thank you. It's just another reason I'm just so excited and proud to be Orange. And I also want to thank all who coordinated the Orange Hill Homeowners event with gratitude for a splashing finale by our firefighters and their waterworks. Thank you.
Thank you. I will adjourn the special council meeting of June 7th, 2023.